Before participating in the following activity, there are some important things we want you to do. Please remember to practice physical distancing of at least 6 feet from anyone that is outside of your home. Wear comfortable and proper shoes. Make sure you have an open space around you with no objects or obstacles in the way. Use the proper equipment or alternative objects you can find in your home. And last, stay hydrated and have fun.
Hello everyone, my name's Murray Roach from Barrie Trackers Track and Field Club. And to my right I have my son Nicholas.
Hello.
Who is a track and field athlete. He's been to 2 provincial games in track and field. And so he's going to do some demonstration of technique today. And to my left is Erin, my daughter.
Hi.
Who has been a volunteer for Special Olympics for the past 8 years. And on her lap is Whiskers, her cat, who's going to be demonstrating as well. So what we're going to do today is we're going to demonstrate a lot of techniques and skills and drills that you can do at home during the COVID-19 time, and even do at home when you're in between practices when we return to normal. So one of the things that people say about the throwing events, which we're going to talk about today, shot put and javelin, is that nothing can be done unless you're at the track. And so we're going to show you some things that can be done where you can practice shot put and javelin at home, and utilizing things that you'll find in your house to make shot puts and javelins that you can use in your backyard or out in the field. We now have Erin here who's going to demonstrate how to take some things that you will find around your home that are cheap to buy that you can use for both shot puts and javelins. So first off, there's a number of different balls that can be used. And so Erin has a number of them there in front of him. The first one is just a regular pool toy, right? The little ladybug ball, right? Then you have got a indoor softball that can be bought at any sporting goods store. And you've got a little indoor wiffle ball that can be used, and it's bought at any store. And then you've got a Nerf ball. So any of those can be used as a at-home shot put, and can be used if you have them on hand. If not, they can be bought in a sports store. Now, if you can't get out to a sports store or you don't want to go and buy something, there's lots of things that you can use from within your house. All right, so Erin's taking the biggest, wooliest pair of winter socks she can find, and she's turning it into an indoor shot put just by taking it and folding them like you normally would when you're going to put them in a drawer after you've done your wash. So Erin's made a nice tight little ball, and this can be used as a shot put inside the house, can be used to be thrown inside the house. Please make sure that you talk to your parents before you steal their socks. And as I said, these can be used indoors. The next thing you can do to make a shot put that can be used outdoors or indoors is go and find a pair of socks that don't match. And everybody's got drawers full of those for sure. So in this case, Erin will fold them over into a nice round ball. And what she will do is then take duct tape and tape them up. And so to speed up the process, Erin has taken a pair of rolled up socks and rolled them up in duct tape. So Erin, just hold it up. And you can see that Erin has got nicely tightly wrapped little shot put that can be used outdoors in your backyard, and it won't have a problem with running into or hurting anything. Now, if you want to make sure that you've got the proper weight, or you want more weight, you can always take a sock and you can fill it full of sand or with rice and do the same thing. Once you've got it, you fill it up, tie it off, and wrap it up in duct tape. But either way, you've got 3 or 4 different options with socks that you can use for shot puts that can be used either inside the house or in your backyard. Now we're going to move on to the javelin. She's got a regulation javelin in front of her, and what she's going to use to make javelins that you can use around the home are simple pool noodles. So the first thing is a regular size pool noodle, which can be bought at Canadian Tire or the dollar store for $1, right? And you don't have to do anything to it. You can just take it out and start throwing it, right? Eventually, over the course of time, though, it might get bent or a little bit deteriorated. And Erin wanted to do a good job of emulating what a javelin looked like and felt like. So what she did is she cut off a pool noodle to the length of a javelin. She's taped off the one end, the pointed end of the javelin. And what she did, she inserted a old broom handle about an inch or a foot or 18 inches long. She inserted it into the open end. And then what she ended up doing was pushing it down into the body of the pool noodle, and then she's going to close off the end by using a little bit of pool noodle, jamming it in the end, and she'll use duct tape to continue taping it off. And what she's done is she's put duct tape halfway down the handle, which is the same level of the grip on your Javelin. All right, so Erin's made a Javelin the same size, but if you don't want to cut it, there's a way that you can do the same thing by using a full-size pool noodle. Once again, Erin has found an old broom handle. It was on its way to the dump, and she'll show you how she did the other one. Basically, she just takes the broom handle, shoves it into the body of the pool noodle, and what she will do then is she will take a little plug, put it in the end. She will take duct tape and tape it off as she's done with the shorter version. She'll turn it around when she's done that, and she will close off the open end as well, and you'll have yourself a full Javelin that can be used in the backyard. Okay, now that Erin has showed us the types of devices that we can make at home for home use, we're moving out onto the field where we're going to actually throw javelins and shot put. But first, what we want to do is warm up. Because we know every time you go to a track and field meet, you sit around for a while, your legs are warm, but everybody forgets about their arms, even when you go to practice regularly. So we're going to do arm warm-ups to get ready for our throwing event. All right, the first one we're going to do is big arms. All right, so here we go. We're going to do 15. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, same 15, but this is what it looks like from the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So evidently the throwing events, your arms are moving forward, but don't forget to warm up backwards as well. So we're going to do 15 of those as well. Here we go, Nick. Backwards. 1. All right, in the next exercise, we're going to march like soldiers. We're going to do 10, and then we're going to turn and face the other way. Here we go, Nick. 1. Go. So in this exercise, we're actually going to do the full shoulder rotation, which is the motion you're going to use to throw. So we're going to do 12 moving forward, and then we're going to turn sideways. Here we go, Nick, over the top. Big windmill rotations. Feel your shoulder loosen.
I dare you.
Same thing, Nick, forward. Stop. All right, now we're going to do some lateral rotations of our arms. So we're going to do like big windmills, 2 arms. Here we go, Nick, to the count of 10. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we're going to do some more lateral motions. It's like a cuckoo clock. So it's left to right. Here we go, Nick. 1. Okay, so we're going to do arm exercises now, but we're going to use our hips and get some trunk rotation because that's an important part of throwing as well. All right, so here we go. Next, start to the right and twist. See how the trunk is rotating? It's loosening up my hips, getting ready to throw. Nick and I are now going to do some leg rotations because that's important for throwing as well. And so it's just basically taking your legs straight out, back and forth. I'm going to start and then Nick will do his rotation. All right? See how my legs coming straight up and back, straight up and back. Okay? Now Nick is going to do his. Okay, Nick, away you go. And stop. Well done, Nick. Now we're going to do the same exercise. I'm going to go first, and I'm going to do it side by side instead of straight out in front. Okay? Here we go. Same thing. Going back and forth, loosening up the hips. Important part of throwing. And make sure you do both legs. All right, Nick?
Okay.
Away you go. Perfect. Okay, the last exercise we're going to do before we move into throwing is once again on the lower body, and we're going to do some squats just to get our bottom of our legs loose for throwing. All right, here we go, Nick, and 10. All right, the proper throwing technique for shot put is incredibly important to make sure that you get good distance, and even more importantly, you don't hurt yourself. And so holding the shot put correctly is the proper place to start. And so you can see the way my hands are on the shot put, 4 fingers up. They're not spread too far apart. Lots of people do that. You want to hold it like this, all right? So that's what it looks like from the back. Now let's look like from the front. From the front, you should be able to just put your finger just carefully underneath the shot put, and that tells you you've got it in the proper position. Okay, now we've got the proper hand technique for the shot put. Now we want to make sure that we've got it properly placed into the position prior to the throw. And that is down on the neck by the jaw, or right by underneath the ear, and you can see where it is. And it's got to be resting in there, so don't be afraid of the dirt, all right? So once you've got it put in there properly, the elbow is up, right? The elbow is up, and your front is pointing like this. And you want to be able to make sure that your weight is on the back part of your body, where you can see where the weight is on my leg. My head and my knee are aligned. My elbow is up, and I'm tucked in, and I'm looking to get ready to throw. A lot of time on the shot put, we also put our feet in the incorrect position. A lot of times we teach people to line up where their left and their right foot are on the same line, and the left foot should be slightly ahead of where the right foot is in that line. That way it allows you to open up and throw the shot put. All right, just from that perspective, where you're moving forward, moving forward, moving forward, moving forward, and throw. Okay, so now we're going to do the actual shot put, and we're going to do a couple different techniques. And we've got a rope here that shows us what the circle looks like. You always walk in from the back, and basically you walk in, and we have our athletes go to the front of the circle, right? And what you do is your right foot is a little bit further out than your left foot. And what we're going to do now is just a simple one step. I've got my elbow up, I'm in the right position, and I'm going to lean back and push. Now this time we're going to do the technique that we use at Barrie Trackers, and it's to take 3 steps back and then 2 steps forward. So you get in, 1, 2, 3, you get set up, right? I'm in the proper position, my elbow's up, 1, 2. Okay, Nick takes 3 steps back, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so Nicholas just had a really good throw. Now what we're going to do again is we're going to take it right from start to finish. And Nick, remember not to forget to grunt, okay? Because that's exhaling the air. You want to let all of your air out of your body when you throw. So Nick, come on back. All right. Okay, move up to the front. 3 steps back. And 2 forward. All right, using the wiffle ball, I'm going to show the difference between shot putting and throwing the ball. If you throw the ball in a competition, you're going to get disqualified. And generally what happens is people take the ball, the shot put, away from behind the ear and they throw it. And when they do that, two things happen. One, you get disqualified, or two, you hurt your arm. So in this case, it's going to show you again the proper technique. Here I am. You can see where I am. My finger can fit just underneath the shot put. My arms or my fingers are up, 4 fingers and a thumb. Tuck it in underneath my jaw. My back elbow is up. My front arm is up. And I'm just going to release. You can see where my arm lets go. And when I do that, my hand is like that. So it's counterclockwise. Now I'm going to do that further back. I'm going to take a couple steps back. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to come forward and show the same thing. I'm over top of, my weight's over top of my back leg. 1, 2, 3. You see how I finish up, and you can see my hand is out like that. So muscle memory is incredibly important as well when you're throwing a shot put. And you may not be able to throw the shot put 50, 60 times in practice because there's no time and you don't have one at home. So if you use a wiffle ball or indoor softball, you can throw it up against the wall, up against the fence, and you can do that in sequences of 5s or 10s, and it's basically this. You're in the proper position, up and throw. Pick it up, feet in the proper position, push it out and throw. Always having your left arm up, right arm pushes out, left arm comes in. I'm going to throw it up against a chain link fence using the wiffle ball. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand in a position like this, and all I'm really doing is putting my arm out like this and pushing out and pumping. Standing with my feet like that, up. So what you want to drill is when you're like this, is that when the right arm comes forward, your left arm comes back to your chest. Up, chest. So all I'm doing here is the motion of throwing. You can see where my front arm is and my back arm is ready, elbow up, and here we go. See how my right hand is coming out and pushing, and my left arm is coming down, opening up. So in this drill, we're actually starting from a different position. The last one we were like this, and this time we're going to use our back leg. We're up, we're ready, and push. You can see the back leg is going to do the pushing, and one more time. Elbow up, tucked in. All right, if you have one of these indoor softballs at home, it's very good to practice, and you can do it by yourself. If you've got a wall to throw against outside, it's very simple because the ball will bounce back to you. So basically, you set up in your regular position, push, ball bounces back to you, push, ball bounces back to you. Pick a spot. I'm going to pick that top 2 red bricks. So where my arm's pointed, I'm hitting the bricks. You can do that all day. All right, we're going to talk about the grip and the javelin. We talked about it in the shot put, and it's incredibly important that you do it right and you grip it properly for the most effective throw possible. There's a couple different variations of the grip, and it will depend on how your coaches teach it. But the best way to do this is to get your finger, one finger, to the end, right where you see where this lip is, all right? Because that gives you good grip on the javelin, all right? And what you want to do is you want to keep it lined up like this and open. Too many times people roll their hands like this and then you cannot get it out and throw it. So it's got to be in an open palm. All right? See where this finger is? It's tipped in there nicely. The rest of them are on the grip. All right? Now what we do, because of some athletes with smaller hands, we actually tuck 2 fingers in behind. But in that case, you can still see this finger is still up on the top of the Javelin grip, thumb squarely there, and you can see that there's an open portal all the way out. And that's a trajectory of where you want your Javelin to go. So Aaron's just gonna follow me and watch from behind, right? And so you can see that what I wanna do is release, and it's always coming out through that part of the hand. Okay, I want you to throw it to me. Get your arm up, tip up, and throw it. Get your arm up. Okay, so Nicholas just demonstrated standing there. Now we want to do the one-step approach, where you step back 1, right? Arm up, take a step forward, and throw. So we've demonstrated a couple techniques where they're throwing from maybe a 1-step or from a standing stop, but most athletes who are going to throw it a long distance want to have a run up, and you got to build up momentum. So we're going to follow that step now. So what we do, we've got it in a proper technique. You can see that my Javelin is nicely pointed where it has to go. We want the tip to be up, so when we release, so I'm going to do it slowly. So I'm going to take off, and I'm running, and I'm running, and I'm running. And then when I get there, I start doing my crossover, and throw. Shot put up, okay, run up. Demonstrating the same technique, but from straight on so you can see the approach. Javelin is up, running, running, running. Javelin is up, crossover, 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 and throw. The last part of that long run is the footwork and the steps when you turn sideways and get ready to throw. The Javelin is up here, extended, you have to have the tip up. So it's crossover, 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 and throw. All right, in this part of the video, we're going to focus on the top part of the body and the arm placement in the run up. All right, so here we go. We want it up. Javelin tip has always got to be up when you're running. So we're taking off, the arm is up, the arm is up, and the arm drops to the side a little bit when you go to crossover, and then over the top. All right, so you've seen what the run up and the throw position looks like from the side. Now we're going to do it from behind. So we're going to show just the last part of it. All right, you can see where my Javelin is, you can see where my hands are. So we're coming up, we're going to crossover, go back, my arm's all the way back, and it comes up right past my ear, and throw. All right, in this scenario, Nicholas is going to take the long run up that we've been demonstrating. He's got the tip up like it's supposed to be. He's got his arm in the throwing position. He's looking where he's going to throw, and away you go, Nick. In this situation, Nicholas is going to take a longer run, and we want him to throw